Hey sports fans, if you're a baller, then I know you either wear your slides to and from your games or you wish you had a pair. Well, you've got to check out iSlide. These things are amazing and customizable, and they've got all the NBA teams too. So click the link on the screen or in the description below and use my special code CoachNick to get 10% off your purchase. You in? Is your offense, is it a philosophy / concept, or is it a system?
I don't like calling it a system. I think it's a style. Okay, there's a lot of times people they don't want to be known as system players. To me, it's a style of play. And really, what we through the years of doing this, instead of teaching them plays, I'm trying to teach them how to play the game of basketball.
So would you say, okay, triangle, Princeton, dribble, drive, motion, is it in that same category of distinction?
I think in time, I think people are going to see that the dribble drive is its own offense, and I can just tell you through the years, I've worked with probably over 400 to 500 different coaches through the country at every level. So I know, I go to different places and I get calls all the time. So I know it's really has, definitely transformed through the years, and it's going to change more. It's like I talk with Coach now. I think the next big evolution is how can you incorporate the dribble drive with the pick and roll at the NBA level. And I think the person that masters that is going to be a leg up on somebody.
Well, are you implying that you have not mastered that yet?
Oh, it takes a long time to master that. It takes a long, long, long time. Well, coaches, we're working on it, but it's not going to happen overnight.
So are more of the pick and rolls coming out of the called plays and the pre-done sets?
Yeah, and coach is real big on random pick and rolls. So we might flow down all of a sudden, oh, you got a chance for a quick step up. We're going that step up. Now off that step up, okay, we're attacking the baseline, so what's the bottom? They know they have to go tip the rim. We're going to get the corner. We're going to get the dive. We're going to get the diagonal. So they understand all those different things.
And then to enable to efficiently teach that, you just got to, over and over again and keep drilling and,
And it's just, like you said, you're asking, it's more principles than plays. And then what we always did is we made quick hitter plays out of it. So you come out of timeout, okay, hey, we noticed they're playing a little bit above you. Hey, let's get a quick, what we call a drop back door, and we might run that action.
So you might have a similar alignment most of the time, but then you'll get your little actions out of that call.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I noticed, by the way? I went through a lot of Rondo's footage this past week for a breakdown. Whenever he called the play coming up and was very clear that he was making a specific set, quick hitter, he got an assist. Almost every one of the assists that I watched was like that. And every score was flow. And I guess that does that make sense? That's right, I guess, right?
Yeah, again, I think a lot of times it's going to be how that team plays you. With Rajon, what's going to happen a lot of times is they're going to back off. They know how good he is attacking and so forth. So if we get in flow, they're kind of looking, what's he going to do? Then all of a sudden he's by somebody. And that's what we're trying to get him to do, because I think he's so effective that way.
And, he's probably the smartest guy in the league, or one of the smartest guys in the league. So has he gravitated toward it? Has he looked at it and been like, oh, this is going to be great?
See, we don't really talk about it as dribble drive or anything. It's just the way we play. We don't say, hey, this is dribble drive, this is now. We just coach it. It's just more what we call our flow.
And so what is the best part about his game that fits so well with the flow?
I think you hit on that. He's just so smart. The beauty, with the flow and with the dribble drive, what happens is when you penetrate, you really, if we do it right, he knows that this guy's going to be there, that guy's going to be there, this guy's going to do a diagonal cut, and our dunker's going to go to the tip of the rim. So he knows where they're all at. If Rajon can just see where people, he knows where they're at. He can shut his eyes, like you see him throw those behind the back pass, and those. He can shut his eyes and throw that ball, and that's where they're supposed to be.
Wow. Let's talk about Rudy Gay and how he fits into the offense. When you see it work the best and when he gets a good score, what kind of action is he getting out of the offense?
I think Rudy, his biggest thing is just the flow. It's just coming down, understanding where to be. See, for a lot of players, what's hard to teach is they're so used to coming down running sets and they get into their spots. Trying to teach them how to stay outside the three, how to come in and out, or how to stay out depending on where you're coming from. Like last game, Rudy had a shake over off a pick and roll, came over, caught it on the move, and came right down. And I mean, it's something that he hasn't done a lot. And if he learns how to catch on the move, to me, he goes to a whole different level.
So, his greatest asset is when he gets moving. He's a quick guy. He's really big. So you want to see him sort of off the ball, coming off of it, more action, moving into the catch.
Moving into catch and be able to attack that way. And again, he's so talented that if Rajon drives and creates and he spots up for his three, he's knocking that down. He's one of those guys who can put it on the ground and shoot that three on both sides. So he's so dangerous that way.
Define the shake for us.
Well, we call it a shake-up or shake-over. If you got a pick and roll going away from you, your corner guy raises, that's a shake-up. Oh, okay. If you got to step up and we're attacking the baseline, the guy who's up top is coming over. Some people call it just a fill. We call it a shake-over.
Yeah, right. I call it fill. Okay. Well, now the big question here is you have a tremendous center, a low post presence in DeMarcus Cousins. A lot of the dribble drive stuff you might see is very 5-out perimeter oriented. Oh, actually, I see the initial setup. You'll have the guy down low, but without question, when you're watching it ping, the low post sometimes doesn't really come into your mind. How has that been to incorporate him into there and get him his shots?
Again, for DeMarcus, he is so talented in anywhere you put him. Down the post, obviously, he's very strong. But I don't think people realize. I think he's actually more talented on the perimeter. You know, everybody looks at DeMarcus as a 5. I honestly look at him as a 4. You know, you watch how he trails for us. You watch how the assist that Ronald has when he'll penetrate to his man, do a little kickback pass to him for that 3. You know, he'll give him the ball, he'll cut through. Now DeMarcus has that whole drive. How many bigs can stay with DeMarcus? How many 5s can stay with DeMarcus out top when he penetrates? I don't think there's very many in the league.
Right, and there certainly aren't any 5s that can do it.
Yes, and then when he gets going downhill, he's so freaking strong that he'll bump somebody off, go in, boom, and finish strong on that. So I think really for him, understanding the dribble drive and the concept and so forth isn't going to happen in a month, 2 months, or 3 months. A lot of this would take a year to a year and a half to 2 years before they start realizing, oh, shoot, this happens and that happens and so forth. But DeMarcus has so many weapons that he has to him. It's just kind of fun to think about what you can do with it.
It's funny to hear that you say that it takes, a year and a half to really get comfortable, because that was one of the big criticisms of the triangle. It takes a long time to learn, and there's a lot of similarities without question, philosophically. So my question is, as you've been doing this enough years in the NBA level, have you been slowly refining the way you teach it from the day one?
Definitely. The teaching part, and that's because we don't have very much team time. So the teaching part, what we're trying to do is when we get them one-on-one, or we get them, 2 of them together, 3 of them together, we'll teach, the kick up, the kick back, win the back door, and all that stuff. That's what we like to do with them.
So was there one thing that while you're doing this, you finally hit your head and go, oh, that's what we have to do to teach this, and I've been doing it wrong, or this is the much better way to do it? Has there ever been a moment like that?
No, I think more than anything else, it's just an evolution. Every year, what I always try and do is how can we make it a little bit better? And again, like I said earlier, the players teach you more than anybody else. Because all of a sudden, something that you've never done, they'll do something. I go, whoa, I like that. Let's see how we did that. And then you keep incorporating that and putting that in part of the offense.
Well, Coach, this has been really enlightening. I think we got a lot of great stuff to go through and learn from that. And I really appreciate the time you take. And don't forget, sports fans, at BBallBreakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You win. You win, Coach?
Definitely.